All right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a whole bunch of good crypto news stuff for you today. The first thing that I want to talk about is that a U.S. startup introduces crypto hardware wallet chip for cell phones. And this is the exact kind of thing that makes me a little bit nervous and the thing that I would probably never use. And then that, at the same time, kind of makes me feel like an old man because I'm like, wow, these kids is new technology and their loud music and their Dan Fogelberg. I don't want none of my crypto on a cell phone. I put it on a piece of paper and put it in a safe kind of thing. So it's basically a SIM that goes into your phone. If you have like a wallet with a cell phone with two SIMs, you can put it in there or use a dongle. But anyway, the United States startup Voltel, not Voltec like in Fallout, but either way, pretty close, has introduced a hardware cryptocurrency wallet designed to fit in a mobile SIM card tray. The solution reportedly combines a mobile application and a hardware chip dubbed the Voltel card. The crypto storage solution will be sold in the U.S. starting today and will immediately expand to European countries via Voltel's United Kingdom subsidiary. The wallet uses biometric authentication along with military-grade encryption standard AES 512. The press release reports, according to the firm, users can lock the Voltel card to a single device and to a particular geographical location until somebody SIM swaps you, probably. I don't know. To store funds, customers can either insert the Voltel card inside an unused SIM card tray in the case of dual SIM capacity, or connect the chip to their phone via an accessory such as a dongle, and the corresponding mobile app will let the users interface with their stored funds. In February, after weeks of rumors and speculation, South Korean tech giant Samsung officially announced at the Mobile World Congress that its smartphone, the Galaxy S10, will include a digital wallet that supports Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cosby's token, and Engine token. However, I did read an article that states the opposite, that the Galaxy S10 does not include the digital wallet. You should actually have to download it on the App Store, and that it actually doesn't support Engine token. So there is an article on somebody made a post on Reddit that states that the Engine coin thing was actually false, that there wasn't really a partnership that it includes the support for it, but we'll have to see once that all goes through, I guess. In January, cryptocurrency hardware wallet firm Ledger presented its new Bluetooth-based wallet, Ledger Nano X, that has the capacity to store 100 different crypto assets. And later the month, the company released Ledger Live, a mobile app for Android and iOS that allows Nano X wallet owners to use their wallet without the need for a cable via their mobile device and Bluetooth. So again, there's a lot of things coming out, a lot of crypto wallets, cell phone wallet-oriented wallets, and I think that's kind of a good idea in some ways, in the sense that everybody has a cell phone, and it might introduce crypto adoption a little bit more. If you have a cell phone, you might be more inclined to use crypto, and everybody has a cell phone. But the problem is that there's been a lot of stealing in the past with cell phones, and that weren't necessarily on the phone but were connected, via accounts, etc., with SIM swapping and whatnot. And so it just makes me a little nervous to hold any kind of reasonable amount of crypto on a phone, whether it's your SIM card that could be taken, stolen, something like that. We'll have to see how these pan out and how the security actually works. But again, I feel like in 6 or 8 months from now, I'm going to be reading an article that somebody stored a bunch of crypto on their S10, and then it somehow got hacked, whether, somebody got a hold of their Wi-Fi or intercepted it, or stole the phone and figured it out, hardware hacked it, one of those methods. And I'm just waiting for that day, unfortunately. So moving on, no ETF decision yet, but Gemini-backed Bitcoin interest account is live. So even the greatest proponents of Bitcoin tend to admit the #1 cryptocurrency is unlikely to replace banks anytime soon. However, it certainly has fiat currency in its sights, with the launch of 2 high-interest Gemini-backed cryptocurrency accounts in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Maybe the banks should be worried after all. So BlockFi, backed by Gemini, is offering 6.2% interest on both Bitcoin and Ethereum deposit, changes the game. It will be interesting to see how centralized crypto deposit takers and lenders impact volumes over time. So I don't think this is like 6.2% per day. This isn't like a BitConnect thing. It's probably like a yearly type deal. But for those investors who don't mind a bear market, want to hodl their chosen crypto, a 6.2% interest rate may be appealing. Perhaps it's too early for the estimated 92% of Americans who don't own cryptocurrency, though. Since the cryptocurrency market's lost around $400 billion from its market cap in 1 year, high interest rates on dwindling investments may fail to appeal. However, the Bitcoin and Ethereum interest accounts were launched yesterday via BlockFi crypto lending platform. In its private beta in January, the company attracted more than $10 million in deposits from institutional and retail investors alike, showing a clear demand for its services. So it was kind of just a matter of time before something acts like a crypto bank that is actually going to give you interest. And so somebody wrote, a war will be fought between smart contracts and crypto banks for your precious crypto assets. So things like Binance and BlockFi and Coinbase. And will eventually be giving out, interest rates on holding your crypto, and actual like real interest rates, not like 1% a day, like these pyramid and Ponzi schemes that have been coming around. We're talking like real, actual yearly interest, which is not too crazy. However, again, with the bear market and with prices that can just decrease by 80, 70, 90%, whatever, I kind of did that a little not in order, but you see what I mean. How can they continue to give this interest when prices can bomb from $20,000 to $3,000 within just a few months? So that's going to be a little difficult. Maybe they'll have to stop that interest for a little while. I don't know. It's very interesting to see how this will work out. But again, as you can see, like from the articles today, like we are moving forward in crypto. So we're starting to put wallets on cell phones, which everybody has a cell phone. We're starting to make crypto banks that are giving you actual interest and legitimate interest. Now, 6.2% is pretty high, actually, and I wonder how that's going to work in a truly bear market. And right now, I would say we're in a sort of a stagnant market, and that like prices are just sort of been trading sideways for quite some time now. But in a truly bear market, when we go from 20,000 to 3,000, how are they going to keep up with that interest? That's my question for that. So I'm moving on here to why Jack Dorsey is buying 10K in Bitcoin every week. And so he makes some pretty good points in this. I don't really care that he is buying, that he's periodically accumulating Bitcoin to the tune of 10,000 per week. I couldn't really care less about that. But when speaking about StackSat Saturday, he said that he would have participated, but he had already gone over his 10,000 weekly limit on Cash App, a money transfer application that he uses. So the bear market on Bitcoin that started in January last year doesn't appear to have swayed Dorsey one bit, as he remains ever confident that the cryptocurrency will have a promising future. And I'm not a big fan of Jack Dorsey, to be totally honest. I kind of feel like he's like a hyper leftist. Him and I think one of his executives were on the Joe Rogan podcast either yesterday or a couple days ago. And they were asked a lot of hard questions, like why they always, take the side of leftists and liberals and then ban right-wing and conservative speaking accounts on Twitter. And they really didn't have much of an answer for it. It was kind of just like they kind of like juked around it and stuff. But so I can't really like that. Like if you have this big social media account, sure, like bullying and things like that, yeah, that should go. Maybe you should get your account banned. But like there's clearly this bias, this Silicon Valley like bias towards the left because California, and anybody right speaking can get banned pretty easily. So imagine being born, he says this year, growing up only knowing that the potential for a global currency exists. That is exciting. What that person does with that realization is amazing. It feels like that just accelerates things even faster. So I think there's a massive acceleration that's going to be happening within the next 10 years, he said in the podcast. So the world will ultimately have a single currency. The internet will have a single currency. I personally believe that will be Bitcoin. This could happen probably over 10 years, but it could go faster, he said when speaking to the Times. Now, I don't think it'll have one currency. I don't think Bitcoin will be the one currency. Perhaps Bitcoin for quite some time now, maybe decades, will be the number one currency, but it certainly won't be the only currency, as there's a lot of currencies that do do things that Bitcoin can't do. So I don't really agree with that. However, what I do agree with is this statement here, that people being born today are born into Bitcoin, and they'll be able to use it better than anybody we know today. As in, you know, you ever see a 4-year-old with a tablet and they can use it mysteriously well? When I was 4 years old, I had a Nintendo and I ran into the very first Goomba on in level 1. And so it's just like, it's this totally different world. You know, when I was a kid, you had to like wake up at 6 in the morning to watch cartoons for an hour and a half until it would turn into something boring that you really didn't care for. Now there's like thousands of channels where you can watch it. You can watch things on demand. You can go on the internet. Just a totally different world that the new generations grow up in. And we're going to have a total generation growing up in Bitcoin. Anybody born in 2009 was born in Bitcoin, and will grow up knowing it, using it, mining it, etc., which is very, very interesting. So, you know, the more and more generations that sort of get phased out as we go are using less and less fiat. In fact, you know, like 1% of all transactions or something like that in the world are fiat money. Like nobody's using fiat anymore. Like even if you go into a bathroom in an airport, you can scan your debit card to get whatever, you know, like the stuff in there. It's just like there's just nowhere you use cash anymore. You can use cash, but you know, it ends up slowing everything down. The person that has to pull out their wallet and pull out like all these different bills and be like, well, here's $1.25. I'd like a, you know, or here's $10.25. I'd like $5 even back. You know, and it slows the cashier down. Everything is slowed down by cash. We're just moving more and more and more digital as things go on. So Bitcoin definitely has a big future, and the more and more rare that it gets as people accumulate and need more and more of it, the price is just going to keep on going up over time. So like these $200, $300 dips that we're seeing now, that's nothing in the long run. If Bitcoin was back at 20,000, what would you think about these $200, $300 dips back in the 3,000s? You wouldn't think anything about it. So it's just a matter of time, really. So moving on, Coinbase says it never shared personally identifiable customer data. I like how it's personally identifiable, in quotes. We never shared the personally identifiable data, just all the other data. Coinbase has taken steps to clarify statements made in the wake of its controversial acquisition of Neutrino, that was basically a hacker group. Specifically, Christine Sandler, Coinbase's director of institutional sales, justified the Neutrino acquisition during an interview with Cheddar last Friday by saying the exchange, previously analytics provider, was selling client data to outside sources. Spokesperson told CoinDesk Tuesday that the exchange never shared our customers' personally identifiable information with any third-party blockchain analysts vendors. So just not the blockchain vendors, you know what I mean? Just not those third-party blockchain vendors, not, you know, keyword blockchain ones, not those ones. All the other ones we sold it to. And like, you know, if your clients were, you know, if your you know, previous analytics provider was selling client data to everybody, maybe you should have got on that a little bit faster, or maybe told them, hey, if you sell our client data, you know, that's a breach of contract, or we'll sue you, or we'll fire you, or something like that. Apparently you guys didn't really bother to tell them that they were just selling all the data. So like, I think you guys were actually cool with it. I'm pretty sure you guys were cool with it. So although Coinbase declined to specify which former partner Sandler was referring or what type of data was being commercialized in ways it was objected to, it's important to note that blockchain analytics companies sell aggregate wallet data without names or identifying personal information as their core proprietary products. So just the wallet data, not your name or your identifying personal information, just everything else. The standard norm across the industry is for analytics providers to collect anonymous transaction data and commercialize access to that information for customers seeking to investigate suspicious activity. For example, Chainalysis co-founder Jonathan Levin explained to CoinDesk that firms often receive wallet transaction information without names or other account information, as far as you and me know, just the users of the account. It's not the names. No, we don't do that. And use it to help customers across the ecosystem identify bad actors, which apparently doesn't work too well because all these thefts that go on, basically nobody gets arrested for these, except I can name like maybe a handful offhand of people that have been arrested for like stealing. So apparently that doesn't work so good. He said they do receive personal customer data and never sell data to external companies. So no, we don't receive any personal data, but we do receive personal customer data, but we just don't sell it. So I mean, like, we don't receive it, but we do receive it, but it's like, you know, we don't sell it to external. So they're just like flip-flopping all over the place. They're like, yeah, we don't sell the data, we just receive the data. It's okay, guys, don't worry. We put it on a big server, we keep it real safe, right in the back, you know, where the leak is or whatever. I don't know, right in the back with the NSA cable attached to the back room. Don't worry about it, guys. So yeah, Coinbase in a lot of hot water. I do like the fact that they reacted to the internet and they're like, we're gonna fire the neutrino team. But then what they said was, we're gonna fire the neutrino team that previously worked as the hacking team. So wait, what does that mean? So you're only gonna fire some of the neutrino team, like the older crew of the neutrino team, and keep the other hackers? So now you're getting rid of these hackers after they came in to your company and got all the data they ever needed. And if we ever see Coinbase being hacked in the future, which Coinbase seems pretty secure, but I suppose I can always eat my words. Well, we'll know who to thank, the neutrino team, because they were probably angry about being fired immediately. So that's good. That's fun. You can just hire more hacking teams. No, we're going to hire a new hacking team. Okay, guys didn't like the neutrino hacking team. We're going to hire a brand new hacking team sooner or later here. And we don't sell your data. We just give your data, and then they don't sell that data. They just take the anonymous data, but we don't give them the data, but they get the data. So it's just like, what? $132 billion market cap today. We got 3,899 Bitcoin, so basically 3,900 Bitcoin. All the markets green, everything looking pretty good. Some of the winners of the day, ABBC coin, for some whatever reason. Bitcoin Gold, Raven coin's looking good, and Binance coin has actually been looking pretty good. So I was doing a live stream a couple nights ago, and people were all about that Binance coin. I'm not too big of a fan of Binance coin, but to each his own, and it's going up quite a bit. So this news comes from a lot of things. So I mean, like, first of all, Binance coin, it saves you fees on Binance, even though they could just reduce those fees and they wouldn't need Binance coin in the first place. It's more like a coupon that they don't even actually need the coupon, like, you know what I mean? Because if Binance coin reduces the fees because you use Binance coin to do it, why have the fee so high anyway that you need Binance to do it? I don't know, whatever. Anyway, and also the DEX coming out and all that stuff. So there's just this huge pump of Binance coin right now, and we're up at 14.22. So in December we were actually just like $4.61, and now it's all the way back up to 14. So its all-time high was like $22, 21, no, 20, about $25 or so. So we're on back up to that way. Back up to that way now. I was reading some articles that people thought that maybe it's going to go to $200 or something like that eventually. So the interesting about Binance coin is that all those fees, they collect all those fees, and then like 20% of those fees they burn every quarter. And I think the last quarter they burned like 2.25 million of them, or 2.5 million of them. So we have a circulated supply of something like 141 now, a total supply of 189, and they burn a couple million every quarter. So kind of a small potatoes from the total supply, but you know, over time, over a few years, Binance coin will get much more rare and will increase in value. So to each his own. But either way, that's all I have for you guys today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video. That helps me out a lot. My social media in the description below: my Twitter, my Twitch, my Steam, my Patreon. If you donate to the Patreon, you get your name down in the description below, and I thank you so much for it in whatever the next episode would be. And it supports the channel, because with the bear market, quite frankly, less people are watching. And just like everybody with crypto hodlers. So I'm a crypto hodler and I'm a YouTuber, so I get like double bear marketed. I get bear marketed by the views and bear marketed by the crypto. Woe is me. Patreon, check it out. But that's all I have for you guys today. And as usual, I will see you guys next time.